Hey guys, I'm back again with a brand new video for you all, and this time I brought you top 20 teams for the Open Great League, as we're gonna have Great League for one more week, and next week we're gonna have a Fantasy Cup Great League edition, so I'm gonna bring top teams for Fantasy Cup as well tomorrow. Well, the top teams for Open Great League is obviously gonna be with the Pokemons that are meta in the Open Great League. You've got to use Pokemons like Bastodons and Carbinks. You got to use Pokemons like Annihilapes and Poliwraths, like Alteria's Skarmories, like Talonflame Skeledurges, Azumarill, Charjabug and Lanturns, and Sableye and Trevenants. And if you don't have the meta mounts, then do join our Discord server. We're ready to help you to build a team with the Pokemons that you have. Well, almost every Thursday and Friday I bring you top teams videos, because every week is going to be the league rotations, and I bring you top teams for every new league. And this time I brought you 20 teams videos so that you guys can have more options to pick from. And 5 days ago we talked about the best cores for the Great League, and you guys gave an amazing response for all my core videos. So now let's talk about the best teams. So without any further ado, let's start the video. The first team is going to be Annihilape in the lead and Dugong and Bastodon at the back. You can also use Alone Sandslash in place of Bastodon, but you need that Dugong because it is going to be your safe swap for like almost every time. And yeah, the basic idea of this team is Annihilape in the lead and double weak to fighting at the back. You got a Ghost up front, so it's gonna deal with other fighters, right? Like Vigoroth and Poliwrath. Well, Vigoroth is not exactly the fighter, but it uses counter as the fast move, so it is a pseudo fighter, right? So yeah, this team is pretty good. I also tried this team. You guys can check the video out in my channel. Like, I guess a month ago I tried this team, and this team was really good. And I've seen a lot of people run this team in previous season as well, and they climbed a lot of elo. And recently this team is being very popular. Like, I've seen this team a lot in Open Great League, and yeah, this is a very strong team. Moving on to another team. Team number 2 is going to be Mantine, Gligar, and Annihilape. Double Flyer Annihilape, ABA Flyer team. Now, this is a very strong team. Yeah, though Mantine, like I've said 1,000 times, Mantine and Gligar both being flyers doesn't share same weakness, right? And yeah, Gligar being weak to ice, Annihilape handles those, and Gligar being weak to ice, Mantine is not weak against ice. Mantine being weak against Lanturns, Gligar not weak against Lanturns, and yeah, it's a pretty strong team. Like, if you find Bastodon in the lead, you got 2 good answers against Bastodon at the back, that is Annihilape and Gligar. If you find a Lantern, you can just safe swap your Gligar or Annihilape. And yep, if you find fighters, that's perfect. If you find something like Charjabug, you can just safe swap. And if you find Mantine, then you can just stay. Like, try to read what opponent is doing and just play along. And yep, if you find Grass, then you can just stay. Yeah, this is a very cool and like very balanced team, so you can use it. And moving on to another team, it's going to be Double Water Typhlosion. You can use in the lead both Azumarill and Quagsire. If you use Quagsire in the lead, it is going to be ABB against those Lanturns. So Azumarill and Typhlosion both being weak against Lanturns, Quagsire being good against Lantern. So yeah, ABB against Lantern. And yeah, so it's gonna be ABA Water. The best best result from this team you can get if you use it as ABA Water. So Azumarill and Typhlosion at the back. And if you use Azumarill up front, then if you find a Grass, what do, right? You just stay. You just stay for the Ice Beam, Soft Loose, and then come in with your Typhlosion. That's what you do. And yeah, overall this team covers like pretty much a lot of things. Bastodons, Carbinks as well, and also those Skarmories and Alterias, and also covers those Charjabug and Lanturns, and like covers Grass with your Typhlosion, obviously ABA weak to Grass. And yep, also fighters, you got a Fairy in that team. And yep, Skarmory is also not a big deal, no problem. And yep, pretty strong lineup. Moving on to another team, it's going to be Azumarill, Alone Sandslash, and Gligar. Now, Alone Sandslash and Gligar is an RPS combo. Like, Alone Sandslash being weak to fighters, Gligar not weak to fighters. And Gligar is weak against Altaria. Alone Stand Slash can handle Altaria very well. And Gligar is weak against those Skarmories. Alone Stand Slash can do good against those Skarmories. And Azumarill is there in the lead to like neutralize a lot of scenarios, a lot of leads. Like if you find fighters, you just stay. And if you find even like if you find Bastiodon, you just swap. And if you find grass, you can just swap. If you find things like Mandibuzz, you can just stay. Alright, Mandibuzz versus Azumarill wins. And if you find like yeah, this team is pretty strong, handles a lot of things. And Obama Snow, alright, Obama Snow can be core breaker between Gligar and Azumarill, but Sandslash can handle that pretty well. But what if you find Obama Snow in the lead with your Azumarill, right? You just stay for the Ice Beam, as I said earlier, and you can just like soft lose and then come in with your Sandslash, because Gligar is gonna be tough against that Obama Snow. And yeah, this team is pretty good. You guys can try it. And moving on to another team, it's gonna be team number 5. Team number 5 is Trevenant, Skarmory, and Typhlosion. Now, another very strong team. Again, backline weak to Lantern, and Trevenant very strong against Lantern. So against Charjabug, Trevenant versus Charjabug is a neutral scenario, and Typhlosion can beat Charjabug. Skarmory is loose to like weak against Charjabug. And yeah, if you find like Bastiodon, both at the back are weak against Bastiodon. Trevenant is not weak to Bastiodon, but neutral scenario. Well, it's always hard to beat Bastiodon, and with this team it's like hard, but you can do it. And yeah, with backline you can like bait out the Bastiodon if they have Bastiodon at the back with your Skarmory. And yeah, this team can handle pretty much a lot of things. Like Trevenant is a very strong pick for the Open Great League, as there are going to be a lot of Annihilapes and Poliwraths, and obviously Quagsires and Whiscash and Mudboys, and also going to be a lot of Lanturns. It's going to be a lot of Azumarills. And yeah, that is true. Trevenant is a very strong pick for the Open Great League. This is a very good team. Moving on to another team, it's going to be team number 6, Vigoroth, Mandibuzz, and Trevenant. Now, another strong team, but both at the back are weak against Wigglytuff, Mandibuzz, and Trevenant. Mandibuzz is very weak against Wigglytuff, and Trevenant can only hit like Seed Bomb for some neutral damage. And Wigglytuff also being normal, resists those Shadow Claws. And yeah, Vigoroth is the only answer against Wigglytuff. Now, other than that, this team is pretty good. Now, a lot of the leads, except fighters, you just stay with your Vigoroth. Like if you find Poliwrath and Annihilape in the lead, you just safe swap your Mandibuzz, right? And if you find Bastiodon, stay. Great. If you find even Azumarill, you just stay. If you find Lantern and Charjabug, you just stay. If you find Mud Bomb, you can say not Mud Bomb, sorry, tongue slip. You can find Mudboy, you just safe swap into either of your Trevenant or Mandibuzz, and a lot of the times you just stay in the lead. And yeah, if you find stuff like Carbings, just stay with your Vigoroth. And yeah, overall this team is pretty good. And also, if you find fires, you just stay. Even if you find Talonflame, you just stay. Or Skeletor, you just stay. Right? Just stay and threaten with Rock Slide. You're always gonna get shield out of those Talonflames and even Skeletor. And then if you lose, then you soft lose, and then you come in with your Mandibuzz and play that game. So moving on to another team, it's gonna be team number 7, Empoleon Double Dragon. Recently, this team is getting very popular, and the idea is pretty simple. Just bait out the dragon counter with either of your dragons, with Empoleon in the lead. Now, you can also use Shadow Dragonite. If you use Dragonite, you'll have a little bit extra coverage against the fighter, because it's also flyer and resists those counters. But even if it's resisted, it's same if you use Dragonair or Goodra with Empoleon. Yeah, this team is pretty strong. Now, a lot of people has done like very good with this team. Now, yeah, it's pretty strong team. Now moving on to another team, it's going to be team number 8. Registeel Double Flyer. Now, in previous video of my core video, I talked about Registeel and Mandibuzz core. They're pretty strong core. Like Mandibuzz is weak against Fairy, Registeel does pretty good against those. And Registeel is weak against Fighters and Mudboys, and Mandibuzz does good against those. And yeah, you can either run Mantine also in this team or Mandibuzz. Yeah, so Registeel is in the lead, and this team covers there are 2 flyers in the back, strong against Fighters. Registeel is weak against Fighters. So Registeel is also weak against Mudboys. You got double flyers at the back, and yeah, pretty much handles a lot of things. Now, if you run Gligar and Mandibuzz at the back, you've got no real answers against things like Alterias, right? So Registeel can do pretty good. Well, it's yeah, also against those Bastodons and Azumarils, Registeel does pretty well. And yeah, this is a very strong team. And another team, it's going to be team number 9. Skarmory and Whiscash and Quagsire. You can also run Gligar in place of Quagsire. Now, yeah, there's I've talked about this team or this core a lot of times. OG classic team for the Open Great League. Skarmory and Whiscash core is all-time amazing core, and Skarmory, Whiscash, Gligar, and if you can use Quagsire, then that's great. Double Mudboys at the back and Skarmory in the lead is always gonna be super strong for the Open Great League. People even hit Legend with this team, right? So if you use Quagsire with Whiscash in the same team, use Aqua Tail in your Quagsire and Stone Edge, because you got Mud Bomb coverage from your Whiscash, you got Mud Bomb and Scald. And yeah, so if you use Gligar, it's going to be ABA Flyer. That is also produce very good coverage. It's also going to be a pretty good team. So yeah, this is a very strong team. Moving on to another team, it's going to be team number 10, Bastodon Double Ghost. Bastodon, Sableye, and Trevenant. Now, idea is simple, ABB, right? So, weak against Fighter, Bastodon, and you got Double Ghost at the back. So, and both of Pokemons are weak against Fairy. Bastodon kills Fairies, and yeah, Trevenant also being weak to those Skarmories and Alterias. Bastodon can handle those very, very well, and yeah, Bastodon is weak against Mudboys. You got Trevenant at the back. Sableye is gonna be the safe swap for a lot of times, and yeah, this is a very, very there is nothing to say about this team because it's a very simple to understand, easy to run team. Moving on to team number 11. Team number 11 is going to be Sandslash, Shadow, and Guzzlord and Skeledirge at the back. You can also run Lantern in the lead in place of Sandslash. Now, the reason I put alone Sandslash is for Alterias. You got Guzzlord and Skeledirge at the back. Both kind of struggles against things like Alterias, right? And Bastiodon. So I put alone Sandslash in the lead. And if you put alone Sandslash in the lead, then you also got Guzzlord at the back. It's going to be ABA weak against Fighters. It's going to be very hard. So for that, you can put Lantern, which can also deal fine with Alterias and Bastiodons. Well, it's not gonna exactly win, but it's gonna do good, right? So yeah, Lantern and Guzzlord and Skeledirge is going to be a very interesting team to run as well. And I might also run this team. So moving on to another team, it's going to be team number 12, and it's going to be Annihilape, Charjabug, and Bastiodon. So yeah, this team is pretty good. Charjabug is gonna be your safe swap for a lot of times, and if you look at this team, Annihilape is weak against Fairies, right? If you find Fairy in the lead, Charjabug is the safe swap. You got Bastiodon for that at the back, and if you find Fighters, that's great. You got Bastiodon at the back. You just stay. They are gonna swap. And for Alligator, if you find Feraligatr, then it's gonna be a little tough. You can directly come into your Charjabug as well, I've seen a lot of people come in with Bastardon against Feraligatr as well. So yeah, and this team covers a lot of things pretty well. It's gonna be like if you find Azumarill in the lead, and when I tried this team, if I found Azumarill in the lead, I just stayed. I played a little weird, but I played kind of cool with this team. Like a lot of the times when I use Annihilate in the lead, and if I find Azumarill, I just stay. Right, shield, put some shield, and for the Shadow Ball, they're never gonna shield up for a Shadow Ball, and that's how you're gonna play with this team. So moving on to another team, it's going to be team number 13. That's going to be, there we go, my favorite team. Shadow Dragonair in the lead, and Lantern and Lickitung. Now, yeah, basically this is RPS team, and you just try hard to win the lead with neutral leads with Dragonair, Shadow Dragonair with those Dragon Breath damage, and then RPS the backline. That's the theory of this team. But however, this team is weak against Alone Sandslash. Like if you find Alone Sandslash, what are you going to do, right? Lantern and Dragonair both being weak against Alone Sandslash, and Abomasnow both being weak against Abomasnow. So for that, you can use Skarmory instead of Lantern, or use Vigoroth instead of Lickitung. So that is also gonna give you good results. So this is gonna be another strong team. And moving on to another team, it's gonna be team number 14, Cresselia, Poliwrath, and Lickitung. Now, a month ago, I put this video, and I got a very good response. This was a very strong team. Definitely gonna be weak against those Skarmories. Definitely. Like Cresselia is very weak against Skarmory. Lickitung, there's nothing much Lickitung can do except those neutral fast moves, right? And yeah, Poliwrath. Poliwrath does kind of good against Skarmory if it has shields, right? So you need some team play for those. Overall, this team is really strong. Lickitung is going to be the safe swap for like 95% of the time, and yeah, this team is pretty strong, pretty good. Like even if you find Bastardon against your Cresselia in the lead, just safe swap with Lickitung. And if you find Azumarill, you just stay with your Cresselia. If you find Charjabug, then it's gonna be a little bit of problem. Charjabug is the core breaker for this team, right? Charjabug, you can just stay, eat a move, and then come in with your Lickitung and try to grab some like shields and see what they come in with. And Scald from Poliwrath is gonna do some damage against Charjabug. And Lantern, if you find Lantern in the lead with your Cresselia, you just stay. Right, you got Grass Knot for that Lantern. And Annihilate is gonna be a little tough with this team. If you find Annihilate, you can tank a move, right? And Cresselia is gonna throw some. You got Moonblast, got Future Sight. Even Grass Knot does a little bit of good damage. And you can just stay with Annihilate, and then Lickitung is a tanky beast, right? So you can tank few counters from Annihilate. Even if you soft lose from with your Cresselia against the Annihilate, you can soft lose, then come in with your Lickitung and lick them down, taking some counter shots. So that's how you're gonna play with this team. So this is a pretty strong team. Moving on to team number 15, it's gonna be A9, Lantern, and Whiscash. Now this team was given to me by Arbor Andy, our fellow content creator. You guys can check out his channel. He's a very good content creator. And yeah, this team basically weak against grass at the back. You gotta use Powder Snow as the fast move in your own Ninetails, or you're gonna get in trouble if you find Venusaur. If you use Charm in your Ninetails and weak against grass at the back, and it's gonna be trouble. So use Powder Snow, then you're gonna have a good time. If you find Bastardon in the lead with your A9, then just swap into your Lantern. And if you find Skarmory, you can swap into your Whiscash. Altaria, they are gonna swap. And if you find even Azumarill, you can stay for a bit, or you can swap into Whiscash. And yeah, that's how you're gonna play with this team. It's kind of cool team. And moving on to another team, it's gonna be team number 16. Whiscash, Mandibuzz, and Skarmory. Whiscash double flyer. You can also run Quagsire. So the reason I say you can also run Quagsire is because Quagsire's got access to that Stone Age, and you can threaten Alteria's as well. Whereas every move from Whiscash, Mud Bomb, and Scald is both resisted by Alteria. It's gonna be a little tough, but you got well, Mandibuzz and Skarmory is also not weak against Alteria, so that's not gonna be that big of a problem. If you find a Azumarill, you just stay with your Mud Boy, right? If you find Fighter, now if you find a Fighter, you just stay. If you for example, if you find Annihilate, you're gonna grab a shield, right, with your Scald, and you're gonna come in with your Mandibuzz, or you can come in with your Skarmory, and you can do some teamwork. And if you find Grass, just safe swap. You got double flyers at the back, and yeah, the problem is going to be Snow. That's a big problem because Mandibuzz is gonna be weak and Mudboy is gonna be weak, but every team's got its weaknesses. That's how you're gonna play. And yeah, moving on to another team, it's going to be team number 17 with Cash Double Flyers. I mean Double Fires. Sorry, Double Fire. It's going to be a very strong team because it's an ABB format team with Double Fire, and just bait out the fire counter with one of your fire. That's how you're going to play. Like both at the back are weak against Lantern, good against Lantern in the lead. You're going to bait out the Lantern. That's how you're going to play. So yeah, this is a pretty strong team. You can use this team as well. Moving on to another team, it's going to be team number 18, and team number 18 is going to be the toxic, popular, famous, the toxic team. So the reason I put this team in our video is like, people use it, right? So we're gonna say, all right, this is a fast move team, yo. They don't require skills. That's what we say, but a lot of people are still using it to climb elo. Well, I'm not sure if they have climbed, if they are successful with this team, but you can always give it a try. It's a fast move team. Whenever you're feeling like hectic and you like you're tired, you can just use this team and just do the taps. That's like so. You can use easy team, right? And this is a top 20 team, so this is gonna be in the top 20, right? So yeah, that's why I kept this team in our video. So moving on to another team, it's going to be Mandibuzz, Alone Sandslash, and Lickitung. Now, the only answer against fighters is going to be Mandibuzz, which is also taking neutral damage from counters. That is going to be a little tough, but I have a video on this team. You guys can check it out. It's not that hard. And yeah, you gotta bait out the fighting type Pokemon with your Lickitung. And yeah, and it's gonna be cool. So Mandibuzz and Alone Sandslash core again. Mandibuzz weak against Charmers. Alone Sandslash is great against Charmers. Bastardon. If you find Bastardon in the lead with your Mandibuzz, you just say swap or Lickitung, and Alone Sandslash is very strong against Bastardons. Sandslash is weak against Mudboys, and Mandibuzz can handle those very, very well. And yeah, this is a very strong team, man. And moving on to another team, it's gonna be team number 20. It's gonna be Snow and double crocodiles or alligators at the back for Alligator and Skeledirge. So yeah, both being weak against Lantern, strong against Lantern in the lead. Snow is very good and can deal against those Alterias as well. Both at the back are weak against Alteria, and Snow is very good against Alteria, being the ice. Now Skeledirge is weak against Alteria because it's gotta land the move, and the fast moves are resisted, right? So that is why. And yeah, again the Mudboy also Snow can handle the Mudboy pretty well, and Skeledirge is weak against those. So Snow. Now Poliwrath can be the core breaker for this team. Like, if you find it in the lead, what do you do, right? You can just like safe swap into your Feraligatr. You're still gonna lose. There might not swap, but that's how you're gonna play. And plus you got Disarming Voice in your Skeledirge and Energy Ball in your Snow. Yeah, right, that does a lot of damage against those. And if you find Annihilate in the lead, then it's gonna be fine. You can just safe swap into your Feraligatr. And yeah, this team is very, very good. You can try this team. And that is it, guys. Those were the 20 teams that we can use in the Open Great League. Open Great League is there for one more week. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. And if you like this content, then please do leave a like and comment. Thank you so much, guys.